Hi everyone, and welcome back to our final workshop. You've got Zaynab and Talia again, and as usual, all you need for this session is a pen and a paper. With no further ado, we will get started. But just a quick recap. Last session we spoke about, we defined fake news, how and why it spreads, and then today we're going to kind of discuss how young people can tackle misinformation online. So firstly, Talia, is it a big deal if fake news is circulating? So we spoke about some of the dangers last time, misrepresentation of the community. We spoke about the Westminster Bridge and how portraying a specific biased image can have an impact on the way that the community is treated. Worry is when a controversial hate speech fueled headline or image is kind of circulated on such a mass scale that it will translate into street attacks, and that people within that community become a target. Other worries is if we think specifically about COVID-19 and some of the misinformation circulating around maybe cures or remedies, that actually becomes dangerous when people take these as facts and they apply them, and it could have really detrimental effects on their health. So just being careful with what we consume.
Definitely.
And actually statistically, young people, because as I said last time, for many people, social media is a primary source of information. The fact is that young people statistically are more likely to believe something if it was released or posted on social media platforms.
Now that's not us blaming you.
Statistics.
That's not us blaming you watching, that's not us bashing you, but just kind of some statistics that kind of we have. Zainab, if you show the statistics, I think it's really interesting, from Ofcom, that 44% of young people will think about whether the story that they've read is true or not, which actually isn't a lot. That's less than half of all young people that were kind of in this survey, and only 20% they found it easy to tell. So maybe you at home are thinking like, oh, I can definitely tell. I don't know if you did our quiz in the last Pocket workshop, but I know those were quite fun ones, but actually sometimes these things are really hard to tell, particularly now with more convincing Photoshop, with kind of all different technology that's used, all the language that can use it can be real. Also, if you look at that bar chart on the right hand side, if you see the bar in grey at the bottom, these are the actions that young people would take if they saw a fake news story online. Some said they would tell their parents, some said they would tell a friend. Only 11% said that they would report it. That's down from 2018. And actually the majority of people would just ignore it and not do anything about it. And actually, you might be thinking, so what? Like, why should I report it? But actually, there's so much power in one person's hands, and it's so easy to report or know the tools on how to report it.
Absolutely, and social media platforms are actually putting so much pressure at the moment, in which they recommend that you do report something, because actually if it goes unreported, it usually goes undetected. If we think specifically about hate speech, I'm going to show you an example that I saw not too long ago. It's something that didn't affect my community, but two other communities, and what I did is I clicked on the three dots at the top, clicked on report, and a list appeared. I clicked inappropriate, and this one fit hate speech or symbol. Now, believe it or not, within 2 minutes, this was taken down. It obviously doesn't always take 2 minutes, but social media platforms, as I said, are under so much pressure to remove any hateful content. There's also Snapchat that I know young people still use quite a bit. Talia's off that kind of hype, but we've got when you want to report something, all you need to do is click down and click on the flag that appears on the side. Now, going to Sheffield is definitely not a hate crime. It's an example that I'm using for my own Snapchat, so please do not report anyone that is going to Sheffield. Talia, that reporting is anonymous. So even when you report a person or an account, they do not find out.
Yeah, I think what I was going to say was really important, that it's not just about reporting hate crime, but also fake news as well. That's what we're talking about in this session. So these things can be used for reporting false information. If we just go back a slide to look at kind of our top tips for what we can do if you see something that is fake. So all kind of, you know, you might learn this when we talk about inference in class, when we're looking at kind of history and English sources, but these skills can be used when you're reading the news as well. So checking the source, is it from a mainstream news website? Is it from an accredited source? Or is it some fake random voice note that's been sent from your cousin to your uncle and it's kind of been circulating around? Who's the author? What else have they written? What other opinions have they had? What other political topics have they spoken about? Where do they lie? Are they verified? Checking the date. Was there something that has been rummaged up from 2011 and it's kind of recirculating around now? Checking your facts, making sure that kind of the statistics in it are actually true. Is it a joke? Has the article been written on April Fool's Day? And also checking your own biases. Kind of often we look for articles and things that support what we're saying. You know, when you're having an argument and all you want for someone is to be like, yeah, you're totally right. That's what we look for as well. But actually challenge your own biases and make sure you're reading from a diverse source of people. Now another tool.
Or if it's an image, Talia, because we did show them images last workshop.
Yeah, so another tool that you can use, if you're looking at something, you think, is this a doctored image? Is this fake? There's now something called deep fakes, which we're not going to go so into in this video now, but kind of fake videos using AI technology. Now, if you think something is fake, whether it's a video or an image, you can do a reverse Google image search. Sounds a lot more complicated than it is. All you do is you take a screenshot of that picture or that video, and you can actually search Google with that image and it will come to the source. So for example, if you thought that Zaynab and I were AI robots, which we are not, you could take a screenshot of this video now, search it into Google, and it will bring you back to the Standout website where this was originally posted. So you're finding the source of that video and you know that it is real. So just a few handy tips to make sure that we're being careful with the news that we're consuming online.
Great, brilliant. So these are all the brilliant tools that you can use. Media platforms, as I said last time, are brilliant. Journalists themselves are sometimes risking their lives to ensure that we do get the full story. They've revealed many scandals, specifically if we think about the Windrush scandal, and ensured the people received their rights and that people were aware of what's happening. Also, if we think about the Grenfell crisis, and all these other issues, there is continuous reports and effort being put in to ensure that we are aware of what's happening around us. Also, you are our future journalists, MPs, lawyers, you are our future leaders, and change is in your hands. So if there's a particular issue, including fake news, that you think should be dealt with, then there are different ways for you to get involved. Do look for ways. There are lots of opportunities out there. Also, Talia, boroughs have young representatives. I forgot what it's called, but it's an opportunity for all young people to represent their boroughs.
So
completely forgot what it's called.
Kind of the UK Youth Council, or sitting on kind of Parliament and for seats as well.
Absolutely. It's just one of the many opportunities that you can get your voices heard. And we know that young people are really passionate about these issues. We hear it in every single session. So keep standing up for your rights and others as well. And thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you for joining us. Have a good day. Bye.